I just like really, I was like a fangirl, really a fangirl. And then fast forward to, I believe 2013, I really wanted to interview him. I said something about it on our show, and a bunch of our fans on Twitter tweeted to him directly and said, Anna wants to interview you. He started following me on Twitter. He messaged me and he's like, I'm a huge fan. I'll come in. I'll definitely be interviewed.
That's so cool. Mm-hmm.
And it was that was like a really exciting moment in my career, right? And then he said to me, he's like, hey, here's my number. Anytime that we have a show and you want to come, let me know and I'll get you in. So I messaged him and I was like, hey, so what's a girl got to do to get into the Palladium to watch you guys perform? And he's like, I got it. You're taken care of. You plus one. And I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, cool. He's like, make sure you come backstage afterwards. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Mm-hmm. So of course I'm gonna go with Christian, Mm-hmm. Show was awesome, okay? Mm-hmm. And then afterwards we go backstage. And you think I'm a fan of his. No. He's a fan of mine.
Okay, sorry.
No, but
sorry, Charlie.
But it's like, he said it before and I didn't really believe him. I'm like, yeah, you're a rock star and you're not really a fan of mine. You just think I'm, somewhat of a public figure. Maybe you think I'm somewhat attractive, but you're not really my fan, right? Mm-hmm. No, he's my fan. He mentioned my interview on NPR where I was talking about Hillary Clinton's email server. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God. But more importantly, I felt like for the first time in my life, I felt a little accomplished in my career.
That's so funny.
I didn't see as much fighting at Easter. I mean, I did, but it was more like, I'm drunk, you're wearing the wrong football shirt, fuck you! And then someone kicks another guy in the face or they smash a beer bottle on their head, but it's not like, this fucking waiter, fuck this guy, take him out the back, Milos, and kick his ass. Uh-huh. Like, I never saw that.
Okay, so that's a little different. Didn't you almost get assassinated in Eastern Europe?
Well, it's a complex story.
It is a complex story.
There was a director named Veljko Balajic. Veljko did this movie. When I got involved in the movie, I was told, dude, it's Academy Award nominated director. But right. So this guy, I got involved as like one of the many producers on this movie, and I realized before they had a finished script, they'd already spent like $2 million. Mm-hmm. And it was like flying in costume designers and all the shit you can't do till there's like a real budget and like you're doing the movie. Mm-hmm. So I realized I was brought on to fire Veljko Balajic. And by the way, Veljko means like big. Mm-hmm. So he's Mr. Big Man. And I fired him, and then like 2 days later, I was living on this island called Brač, which is near Split, and I'm told, you have to drive to Sarajevo tonight. And I'm like, why? And that's like a ferry ride away and then 8 miles on a pretty hairy road from the coast into...
8 miles or 8 hours?
No, it's like 8 hours.
8 hours.
So
you said miles. Okay.
You have to drive almost all the way down to Dubrovnik, and then you head in along the Drina River, and it's just like... And no one could tell me why. I got calls from all these security people, you have to go, you have to go, you have to go. I finally get into Sarajevo like 1 in the morning, and the American ambassador takes me upstairs and goes, okay, first of all, you're not in trouble. And by the way, the story is why I don't have much faith in our intelligence services.
Mm-hmm. Well, the trouble
so, a lot of stories, right?
But he says, listen, everybody knows who you are and where you are. Mm-hmm. He goes, your phones are being tapped by the French, the Russians, the Serbs, the Croatians, and the Germans. Mm-hmm. And there's a hit team coming up from Montenegro right now to kill you. Mm-hmm. And you have to leave the Balkan Peninsula. I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, well, you're part of a complicated blackmailing operation as revenge for a New York Times story about President Izetbegović's son selling apartments in Sarajevo. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I realized, no, what's really happened is I fired Veljko Balajic, and Veljko's like, fuck Clark, kill that motherfucker. And so he got some guys to come up and try and kill me. I was...
You left?
Yeah, dude, I left.
You're like Ryan Lochte.